Let's take a look at what the Wall Street is doing, and it's definitely not the color that you're wearing.
Absolutely. In fact, it's completely divergent. It's the other way around when it comes to US markets. Hi there, good morning. Let's take a look at what Wall Street did yesterday. Nasdaq continues its losing streak. You also have Dow Jones lower by 1.3%, or more than 530 point cut coming over there. S&P 500 0.8% down. 45 points lower is where that index is. Nasdaq also 0.7% lower is where that index closed. A 125 point cut coming in for Nasdaq as well. So well, not looking very good in fact for the US markets when you take a look at that this morning. And let's delve into what is leading to all of this and why we're seeing so much pressure suddenly on the US markets. Now, US oil futures yesterday held to gains after jumping 2.6% in the previous session as crude inventories fell for the third day. Let's also take a look at what's been happening, and stock futures were quiet last evening as Wall Street looked to stabilize after a slide of equities. The move in futures comes after stocks were down across the board during Thursday's regular trading session, and you also had the Dow that fell more than 500 points like I told you, and that has snapped a 6-day winning streak. So well, those are some very bleak moves coming in for the Dow. The S&P 500, Nasdaq have also fallen almost 0.8%, both respectively, and despite yesterday's market sell-off, a market rotation still appears to be the theme for the week because the S&P 500 and Nasdaq are down 1.26% and 2.8% respectively heading into Friday. So overall also does not seem to be a very good week for both of those indices. Those figures actually showing up in the red as of now. On the other hand, the Dow is up 1.6% and the small cap Russell 2000, now this is a space that we have been talking about over the last couple of days because this index is up 2.3%. So it seems like the broader markets are lending support to the US markets because the benchmark indices are on a very massive losing streak. But that divergence has been encouraging to some Wall Street pros who had worried that the market rally was becoming too dependent on a handful of massive tech stocks. Well, there's no surprise here. I'm talking about Nvidia, of course, and investors will get an updated look at the health of the consumer and the financial sector today with a handful of key earnings report due. Now, American Express, Travelers, Comerica and Fifth Third are all expected to report results before the opening bell, and investors will also be keeping a very close eye on the political sphere where Donald Trump is ramping up his campaign as the Republican National Convention draws to a close, and President Joe Biden is under pressure from fellow Democrats to bow out of the race. And also now his COVID diagnosis has come at a very crucial time, so that is not helping his election campaigning at all. And you also have second Democratic Senator Tester of Montana. He has also urged Biden to drop out of that election race against Trump. So well, you have Democrats that are now turning against him, so it's looking to be a little shaky. Other than that, next very soon, a few days, you also have the US Fed meeting happening. So lots to watch out for, in fact, when it comes to the US markets over the next couple of weeks and months as well. With that, let's also shift focus, take a look at what the European markets are doing, looking largely mixed because DAX is down almost 0.5%. That's where it has closed. FTSE up 0.2%, Stock 600 down 0.1%. Not much to worry about on that front. But while that was the US and the US and European markets on front of the equity shares, you also take us through what's been up with oil.
Well, absolutely. It's very interesting what's been up with oil as well as the precious metal space. Let's first take a look at oil. Then US oil futures held on to those gains after jumping 2.6% in the previous session as crude inventories fell for the third straight week in a row now. US commercial crude inventories fell by 4.9 million barrels last week, though gasoline stocks rose by 3.3 million barrels. And when you take a look at motor fuel demand, that weakened by 615,000 barrels per day as well. Let's take a look at the price movement coming in for both WTI and Brent. Then when you take a look at WTI, you're looking at levels around $82 per barrel. So downtick of about 3 cents coming in there as well. Let's also take a look at the year-to-date figure then, and the gains are sharp at 15.6% for WTI, and when you take a look at Brent as well, you're looking at year-to-date gains of about 10.5%, but on a daily basis, Brent was around those $85 per barrel levels, uptick of 3 cents coming in for that one as well. And the larger theme or picture that you're seeing play out is that falling oil inventories as well as geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, as well as seasonal demand and expectations of lower interest rates have all sort of coincided to push oil prices higher in the recent weeks. And a little bit of continuation of that we did see, because we did see oil prices clutching on to those gains, some of those gains at least. Moving on then, let's take a look at gold prices. Gold prices edged higher on Thursday as expectations of a September interest rate cut from the US Federal Reserve continue to gather momentum. So when you take a look at spot gold, you're looking at a downtick coming in of about 0.2% thereabout, and gold prices that was after the downtick, we did see a little bit of a rebound coming in for gold prices. And according to the World Gold Council, in fact, global physically backed gold exchange traded funds recorded their second consecutive month of inflows in June as well. So there's physical demand that's quite strong for gold as well. Let's also take a quick look at silver then. Silver saw a downtick of about 0.1% coming in, but platinum and palladium is where the moves were at, because you did see platinum prices falling about 2.1%. Palladium as well lost 3.2%. So that's the kind of picture that we're seeing play out for all of the precious metals as well as oil.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.